If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is October the 19th, 2023, and today the topic is, let me at 'em. Let me at 'em. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Happy Thursday. I hope that you all had a wonderful Wednesday. Mine was just fine. Yeah, man, quick recap of yesterday. Main things were, yesterday was a class day for NJ, so he took a class. I did an episode of the GSL talk show with a former wrestler, I would say, so you guys will look out for that, coming in the future. And I got prepared to do Mad Miraculous over there at the church last night. We talked all about fear and everything like that. And yeah, it was very interesting. If I do say so myself, I think I came up with a good little class yesterday. Yeah, it was good. Actually, one thing I can say about going deeper with these kids at Mountain West is like very interesting the things that they share when you ask them the questions. Because yesterday, by the time I got to the point where I was like, okay, now let's talk about practical ways to handle fear. We talked about prayer and things of that nature, without getting too much in people's business or nothing. But one of the little kids was letting me know that, they always felt angry. Like they felt, so when they pray, they prayed in an angry way or something like that. And so it was very interesting. And I was just like, well, I'm going to pray for you that, because you don't have to always be angry, or you shouldn't always be angry, or things of that nature. So let's have more conversations with our kids and, be there for them and talk to them and pray with them and all those different type of things. Because what I'm seeing is the more that we offer prayer and talk about it and things like that in the church, the more that has been revealed, at least to me. I don't know if I told y'all, but a few Sundays ago, we had incorporated a prayer situation, and I was encouraging the kids to get together to pray for one another. And I noticed these two little girls that kind of was like staying kind of separate, and they turned out to be sisters that had just gotten into like a little spat in the car on the way to church, and they didn't even feel comfortable enough to hold each other's hand, but they both held my hand and allowed me to pray with them and for them. And so I'm just saying, y'all, just reiterating that, our kids are people too. And, yeah, man, they're holding little things in and, so let's talk to them. Let's pray with them, Yeah, so anyway, yeah, we talked all about fear and whatnot yesterday. And I guess, I don't know if the Lord's continuing this conversation, but I guess so in a lot of ways, because this morning I woke up around sometime after 6 or I don't know. Well, anyway, I woke up at some point and I listened to the prayer meditation, but I think I fell asleep on it. But by the time I woke back up, the phrase, let me at him, was in my heart and mind. And I was like, okay, I'm thinking, okay. So first of all, to me, that's a classic, like, cartoon quote. And I thought that it was like Pink Panther or somebody like that. Like, I definitely knew that it was some type of cat animal that said it in that cadence. Let me at him. And I thought it was like the Pink Panther. But when I was looking it up, the only ones that I saw, the only one that I saw actually saying the quote was Scrappy Doo. So that was one thing. And then that cadence, that let me at him, that you know what I mean? That, I don't know if y'all can tell in my voice or whatever, because I know my husband don't believe that I can change my voice. Sorry, guys. I'm recording a little bit later than usual, but anyway, or than I should be. But anyway, like that cadence, that lower register, and that voice that sounds like this, the let me at him. Like I could have swore that was like Pink Panther, but I didn't see it today when I was looking. But I did see the Cowardly Lion using that type of cadence in his voice. You know what I'm talking about? Those that was born in the 80s. Anyway, so anyway, that voice, that cadence, that quote was in my heart and mind, and so I went deeper about that this morning. Obviously, I was reminded of that Bible verse, even though I didn't write it down. But the verse that says, basically God was, looking for someone to go. And I guess one of the heavenly spirits was like, send me, or no, was it? I was about to say it was Elijah, not Elijah. One of the prophets, I think, was in the midst of this situation, and he says, "Here I am, Lord, send me." Perhaps God is looking for, some little scrappy dudes today. You know what I mean? Like, yo, get some courage about you. Don't be like. Now, the only thing I can say about the Cowardly Lion, that even though he was afraid, if you notice, at least in the movie, in the Wizard of Oz movie, the first one, the classic one, right? Well, I guess in all of them, right? But anyway, the lion, even he was scared, but like when he first met Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Scarecrow, whatever the case may be, like he put forth the farce. That's the word that came in my heart and mind. He put forth the farce, or I guess he faked it, right? Until he made it. That he had some courage. He's like, put him up, put him up, put him up. So he gave that impression, but then ultimately everybody realized, I guess, when I watched the scene where Dorothy like literally like hits his nose and he just starts crying. And it's like, is my nose bleeding vibes. So obviously he switched and showed like what his real personality was. But I guess what I'm encouraging today is that we be more like Scrappy Doo. The Lord may be holding our tails or grabbing us up, but I think there's something to this being willing to go and being willing to fight and things of that nature as well. Matter of fact, when I looked up the quote, let me at him, and the meaning of it, it pretty much talked about the willingness to fight. And I meant to write it down, but I didn't. So my apologies. Y'all can go and Google that on your own. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into what the Lord has shared with me this morning in regards to all of this. So the first thing I looked up this morning was cowardly, and that definition says lacking courage. Okay. Then I looked up courage, and it says the ability to do something that frightens one. And then the second definition says strength in the face of pain or grief. Friends, I mean, it's needless to say that we're going to need some courage in life. And then not just courage in life to fight our physical battles that we go through in day-to-day things, but I mean, to fight the spiritual battle. And I think those of us, that are understanding that we are in a physical battle and that we need to fight the physical battle, obviously we need to know what the tools are. It's not necessarily our fists, but it's our prayer. It's not necessarily, weapons or whatever the case may be, but it's the word, things of that nature. So yeah, obviously, you need to learn how to fight the spiritual battle. What are your weapons? Things of that nature. But we're not going deeper about that per se today. I think we're just going deeper about this concept of just getting some courage. The first part. Step one is to I guess be like the Cowardly Lion to a certain extent and be willing to fake it until you make it. And then ultimately be more like Scrappy and go ahead and things of that nature. But anyway, let's keep going, y'all. So here go the verses that were standing out to me this morning. Let's start with Joshua 1:9. It says, have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened, and do not be dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So, yeah, I mean, we can boldly, stand up to the adversary just like Scrappy Doo, because at the end of the day, we know that, I guess, if the battle is too much for us, that the Lord will fight our battles at the end of the day. He is there with us always. You know, I just can't get that image of Scrappy Doo going, let me at him, and then Scooby just taking him by the tail and running or whatever. But we don't have to worry about, again, God running or anything of that nature. But he may, put us to the side and fight the battle on our behalf and things of that nature. So, I mean, hey, I hope these things encourage you and inspire you. Let's keep going because, yeah, I got quite a few verses. So, 2 Timothy 1:7. Actually, this is so interesting because this is what I shared with the children last night, y'all. I shared this as the memory verse when we talked about fear. And it goes like this, y'all. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. This is the type of spirit that the Lord has put in us. He hasn't put in us that cowardly spirit. So, yeah, a spirit of not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. You guys can go deeper, but it just pretty much reiterates out what I've already said. So let me keep going and give you guys another verse. 1 John 4:4, it says, little children, you are from God and have overcome them. For he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. Man, that's one thing about the adversary. Like you'll see all around us, right? All the evils of the world, and we think that the world is so bad and people are so bad and everything is so horrible. With what we see on the news, with what we maybe experience in our life and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, the word is letting us know that God is greater than anything, or he who is in the world. Yeah, Satan may be the quote unquote God of this world. Definitely lowercase g, and everything like that. But that does not trump the supreme God, capital G. He's always in control and he always, is the ultimate creator and planner and things of that nature. And so all of this stuff has been planned out even before we were, I guess, a twinkle in our father's eye or in our mother's wombs or any of the things of that nature. At least according to the Bible, that is what it's telling me. So I hope that encourages you and inspires you to know that, again, our God is greater than the adversary. And so it doesn't matter what it looks like. At the end of the day, the spiritual battle will be won by God. It doesn't matter what the little battles along the way looks like or whatever the case may be. I'm reminded of, I think it was Elisha, talking to his disciple at that time, and I may be mistaken about the names, but basically the prophet was talking to his disciple, and he prayed to God to open his disciple's eyes so he could see what the battle really truly looked like. And ultimately, the disciple, I guess you would say, when God opened his eyes, he saw the fiery chariots and all that type of stuff fighting on their behalf. And so that's the thing that we need to remember, that at the end of the day, again, there is a spiritual battle that's taking place that we have already won and conquered. Like, it's just playing out, really. So what you can do is, yeah, like I said, be just like Scrappy-Doo and do your part, right? Do your part in the fight and have courage and then let the Lord fight the battle that is beyond us. But anyway, let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. We got James 4:7. It says, submit yourselves, therefore, to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. I can once again say, I am still fighting this fight of self-control, and I'm still noticing that the more I'm fighting, ultimately, it'll come and it'll go, so hey, again, you can resist the devil and he will flee, just like it's happening in my life, so yeah, man. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. 1 Timothy 6:12. I'm only going to read a portion. You guys can go read the entire verse on your own, but this is what really just stood out to me in the verse. And it says, fight the good fight of faith. I know that you guys can go deeper about, all of this. There's plenty of things in the go deeper section. Matter of fact, there's plenty of articles that I shared at gotquestions.org that you guys can look into. One of them is called One of them is called What Does the Bible Say About Fighting? The other one is about spiritual warfare. And then the third one is, do we need to be aware of the spiritual battle that is taking place around us? You guys can go deeper about all of this and learn more about fighting and the spiritual battles and things of that nature. But as I was kind of looking into those and perusing those and whatnot today, basically, what I received is that there are some battles that are noble. And ultimately, the battle we all should be fighting is the fight of faith. It's not fighting amongst one another. It's not, again, looking at your mother, father, sister, brother, and pointing the finger. It's understanding that the fight is not with each other, but it's, and again, like the Bible said, not flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities and things of that nature. And so fight the good fight of faith. That's the type of fight we need to be doing. Again, you need to get courage and just look, stand up there like Scrappy Doo, small as he was, and and I guess ask the Lord to go ahead and put you in the fight wherever He has you in the fight. And because at the end of the day, you can take courage and know that at the end of the day, again, God is there with you. He's greater than your adversary. And the battle is already won, and that's the juice, y'all. That's the juice this morning. Now, the Bible verse of today is Isaiah 54:10. It says, "For the mountains shall depart, and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord that have mercy on thee." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.
Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.